نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. I hope that all of you are doing good inshallah, and yes, welcome once again to this Qaida session. And what we were learning is that we did individual letters, and then we moved on step by step to the compound letters, and we saw that how the letters change their shape according to their position in a word as well. And uh, uh, in the previous session, what we were doing is that we were just seeing the letters in a word, that how letters are joined in a word. So inshallah we will continue from there today, and inshallah we will move forward inshallah. So yes, this is like a bit of a summary that what we were doing, that we saw that how a letter looks in Arabic when it comes at the start, when it comes in the middle, or when it comes at the end as well, right? So this is like a kind of a bit of a summary that you see in front of you, okay? And with all of these letters, okay? And I mentioned specifically yesterday that there is this letter ta, like the light ta letter, and when it comes at the end, it is like something like this as well, round ta. So I discussed these as well, and then we saw all these words. We were just up till here, and for today, what I did is that I have written certain examples in front of you, and we will just do a sort of an exercise again to practice, because qaida comes with practice, right? So for today's lesson, I just wrote these words, and we will see how how we are just writing these words together with the help of letters. Okay, so here at the right side, I have written some words, right? And we will see of from which letters these words are formed. Okay, and at the left side, you see the letters, and we will form words, through it. So this will, help you form words and read them as well, inshallah. So the first example here is this, this word here, and I said that because there are no like symbols of basic symbols of fatha, dhamma, and kasra here. So there might be I might say them wrong as well, you can say, because I'm not a native Arab, right? So for reciting and for reading, we are supposed to have these symbols, like short vowel symbols above and below the letters. Let's see the first word. For example, I just put these symbols here on it, like yahab. So this word here is composed of which letters? This ya letter, ha letter, and ba letter. Ya letter, ba letter, and ya letter, ha letter, and ba letter, right? So this is how we form these words with these three letters. The next word is ha, ta, fa. Ha, ta, fa. Okay, so these three words we use to make this word. Ha, ta, fa. The next here is thamana. Thamana. Okay, thamana. The next one here is khalaqa. Kha letter, lam letter, and qaf letter. Khalaqa. Okay, so the next one here is ta letter, ba letter, and ain letter. Ain, a letter of throat, okay, from the middle portion of throat. Ta, the heavy ta sound, ba and ra. Ta, ba, ra. And the next one, qa, sa, ta, the heavy qaf letter, the seen with whistle sound, and heavy ta letter. Qa, sa, ta. Qa, sa, ta. Okay, so the next here is swafata. Swad letter, fa letter, and ta letter. Swafata. Fa is a heavy saw. Fa, fa, and light ta. Swafata. Okay, so the next one is, if we will, put like raw raw. Okay, if we will put this symbol, this will be raw Hamza letter here, right? This is Hamza here. I told you that whenever you see this Alif kind of symbol, and on top of that there is this Hamza symbol, that is actually a Hamza and not Alif. So Ra, Alif, and Ta, and then there is at the end a Ha letter. So this Ha letter, right? We just say Ra'ata, Ra'ata. Okay? Ra, Hamza, Ta, and Ha. The last one here is طرفك طرفك طا letter, fa letter, طا letter. I missed letter here, which is the raw letter. طرفك. So four-letter word, right? طرفك. So this is how you just join a word like letters together to form a word. In the next example, we will see that how we have like these letters, and let's compose a word from these. So the first letter here is ghain letter. What I told you is that for ghain, when we join this, we take the first part of ghain and write something like this. Ghain, ghain. All right? Dod letter, the heaviest letter, which is Dod, and same is the procedure with that. So we did Ghain, and then we will join the Dod with it, Dod, right? And then the Ba letter at the end. Ghadaba. This is how we have joined it. Ghadaba. Ghain, Dod, and Ba. Okay, so this is how we do it, and let's do all of these quickly. Wow letter, Qaf letter, and Ain letter. So wow letter, Qaf. For Qaf, we will just take first part, Waqa, and we'll join Ain with it. Or sometimes we join Ain like this as well, Waqa'a. Okay? So this, like I told you, that Ain sometimes is written like this as well. So Waqa'a. The next is Ain letter. Ain. So we will take the first part of Ain and we write it like this. The next is letter Ba. So for Ba we do this, right? We do this for Ba. We take the first part again. And the last letter is Dal. Abada. Ain, Ba, and Dal. Abada. The next, here are four letters here, so we will have to join them. So the first is Hamza here, right? Hamza and not Alif here. And then Wa, Wa, the heavy Wa, and it keeps its shape just as it is. So the next is Lam. So we join the Lam here, the first part of Lam, like this. Wa and Lam, and we have this Meme. Al-Lam. Meme, right? Al-Zulam. So I told you that we write memes sometimes like this as well, right? So that is why I have written it like this. We can write it like this as well sometimes, like this. We can just keep it as it is as well. Okay, so the next, again, we have two, like four letters. So the first is Noon letter, which has a dot on top when we write it as, in a short form. Noon, and then we have like Meme letter. Oh, sorry, just noon letter, meme letter, and this is noon, this is meme letter, and joining wow with it, and star letter. Namoods, namoods. Okay, so this is like just for practice. You are not supposed to confuse that why we have joined the first three together and not the last three here, right? You might think of it that way as well. But for now, you just are, uh, you are just focusing on the letters, okay? Because obviously you will not have to write these words. For reciting Quran, you will only have to read the words. So the exercise is, focusing on reading letters and not writing them. Okay, so the next one here is the raw letter. We will take the first part of Jim, Ja, like the dot will be below then, right? And Rajula, okay, like this. Ra Jim La Lam, Rajula. The next one is kaf, noon, ta, mim. Kaf, the light kaf. I said that the kaf is like this as well, right? With the slanting line. Kaf, kaf, noon. This is noon, and then this is ta, and then this meme at the end. Kuntum, kuntum. Okay, so the next one is hamza, tha, ya, and meme. So hamza, take the first part of sa, like tha, and then ya here, dots of ya below it, and meme at the end. We write it like this. A theme, a theme. And last one is ba letter and ain letter and dal letter. Ba'da. Okay, so this is how we just write Arabic and we just read Arabic as well. I hope that this exercise will help you inshallah a bit. And moving on to our next topic for today, which is like lesson number 1, and we'll be doing the harakats. Okay, so we did just bit of them at the start as well. I told you that what a haraka means, right? So we'll see these today as well. I told you from this diagram that the harakats are means that fatha, kasra, and dhamma symbol, which are three short vowel sounds that are placed above or below the Arabic letters, and we articulate the letters because when they have these fatha, dhamma, or kasra symbols above or below them. I told you there are like sounds as well, that whenever this symbol, this slanting line symbol, is above any letter, it makes a short vowel sound of a, and the kasra is below the letter and makes a sound of e, and dhamma is again on top of the letter and makes a oo sound, oo sound, right? So when we call them, this fatha um, individually is a haraka, and this again is a haraka. And when you talk about all of these three, so we mention them as in a plural word for them is like harakat. The singular was haraka and plural is like harakats. Okay, so these are three basic symbols. A bit of information you see in in front of you on the slide is that fatha, kasra, and dhamma are called three harakat. Fatha and dhamma are placed above the letter, whereas kasra is placed underneath. The letter which has a haraka on it is called mutaharrik or mutaharrika. You need not to remember it. I'm just telling you for the sake of just information. So pronounce the fatha by opening the mouth. It will automatically happen, which is like very obvious because this fatha symbol, I told you, this makes a short vowel sound of a. So when we are making this a sound, obviously we have to open our mouth and say a. So this is just what is mentioned here, that to pronounce the fatha by opening the mouth and raising the voice like a. For the kasra symbol, by dropping the voice e. E. So we are dropping the voice. How? We are just flattening our lips a bit more and making this E sound. E. Right? And for dhamma, we make the sound by rounding the lips and say oo. Oo. The last point is that pronounce the harakat in an Arabic accent without stretching or suddenly pausing the voice. So it, just saying that we are not supposed to just say for too long, and we just don't say it for too short. We just don't say right? So we have to be, we have to just articulate these in a balanced way. Neither it is like too long, or we just don't say it, too quick as well. Okay, so these are just like simple points. Moving on to the fatha. The fatha looks like this, the symbol which is above a letter and always appear, okay, above the letter. Its sound should not be elongated. So the same thing, okay? We will just move on to the exercise quickly. So here you see all of the letters with a fatha symbol on top of it, right? So how do we make the sound? Is that I said a sound is of fatha, and we will just attach the sound with the sound of the letter. So the first letter here is letter ba. So the ba letter here with a fatha, the sound will just like will be just ba. ba. So we will not just make it too long. We will not say ba, ba, not too long, okay? Neither we are supposed to say b, b. We are not supposed to make a jerk here, okay? So we just say ba, ba, okay? Ba, ta, ta. The next is ta letter, right? Tip of the tongue touches the back of our upper teeth lightly. Ta, ta. The next here is tha, tha. Tip of the tongue touches the tip of our upper teeth softly and we say tha. Ba, ta, tha. And Jim letter here with a fatha makes a sound d, d, right? D. So d sound, d, and the next is a letter of throat from the middle portion of our throat, and which has a lot more airy sound, and we say ha, ha. I told you that for this letter, first you push the air out and then you make a sound at the end. Ha, right? Ha. Okay, so we will say the first part like batasajaha, batasajaha. Why we are practicing like this is that so that we get fluent with it. So that is why you have to say it like this as well. Ba fatha ba, ba. Ta fatha ta, ta. Ta fatha tha, tha. Jim fatha ja, ja. Ha fatha ha, ha. So and then we just say batasajaha, right? Batasajaha. For this you will have to practice on your own like this as well. So moving on to the next is that this letter is ho letter, ho. The next letter is dal letter, da. The letter, the tip of the tongue touches the tip of our upper teeth for this the letter. The raw letter, raw. And at the end there is the letter with this buzzing sound, the. So, kho, the, raw, the, kho. And I mentioned to you that there are certain letters which are always heavy in Arabic, and you are supposed to remember those as well. So from those 7 letters, this kha letter is one of those, right? So for this letter, we do not make our mouth empty. We do not say ha, ha. Our mouth will not be like this. Rather, it will be full, and there will be a heavy sound of kha letter, kha. So the sound will rather be like KHAW at the end. The aw sound, aw at the end, haw, right? Haw. Haw, the letter is not from the 7 heavy letters, so this is like a light sound. Haw, the, raw, z. You will feel that this a heavy sound in letter raw here as well, okay? Kha da the raw, raw, not ra, ra, okay? This is a raw heavy sound. And at the end the, kha da the raw, the, okay? A heavy kha, then light dal, then light the letter, then heavy raw letter, and the with a buzzing sound. Kha, the, ra, the. Bata, tha, ja, ha. Kha, the, ra, the. The next one here is seen letter with this whistle sound, right? And we say sa, sa. Seen letter, sa. The next letter is sheen letter, sha. Saw the letter, saw. Saw the letter is a heavy letter. The seen letter was a light letter. This sound is a heavy sound. Sa and saw, saw. Sa is a light sound. Sa, sha, saw, saw. And this is a dad letter, which is again a heavy letter, and we say da, da. Ba, okay, a heavy letter, not the sound of this dal. We do not say it like da. This was da and this is Law, a heavy law. And this is paw letter, paw, a heavy paw, not the ta letter. This is a light ta and paw, ta, paw. So this in this row, the seen letter is a light letter, sheen is a light letter. So we just say it like sha, sa, sha, right? Sa, sha, and saw is a heavy, bod is a heavy, and paw is a heavy at the end. So for the first two letters, we will keep our mouth empty and the back part of the tongue will be in a resting position, right? But for the last three here, what happens is that our mouth will feel full, and for that we will raise the back part of our tongue as well. So let's say this together. Sasha, right? Sasha, so, bo, bo. Sasha, so, bo, bo. Sasha, so, bo, bo. Okay, let's repeat from the first row. بتثجح خ دا ذا را ز سش ص ض ط. Okay, so let's move on to the next letter here, which is a wa letter. Wa. Also, you are supposed to focus less on the transliteration or this, in the English form of these written below. And mostly you are supposed to focus on the sound that I am producing, because I told you, and you might have noticed yourself as well, that there isn't proper, alternative for these sounds in English. So what is written below might not be the best form of it. Okay, so that is why for even for this letter of wa, the sound is not this z sound or z letter sound. Okay, tip of the tongue touches the tip of our upper teeth, and we make a heavy sound for this letter and say wa, wa. This wa is a heavy form of this letter dal. This was the, and this is wa. We just make, back part of the tongue raised to say this wa, wa. So wa, a heavy letter. The next letter is a letter of throat, ain letter, ain, ain. So because this has a fatha, so we say wa, ah. And the next one, again a letter of throat from the upper portion of our throat, and we say gha, gha. This gargle sound is there, right? Gha, 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 gha. And the next one is fa, fa letter here. With this, air comes out of our mouth, and the next letter is again a heavy letter. Back part of the tongue touches the soft palate with strength, and we say ah, ah. This is a heavy letter. Okay, so in this row, the first letter of wa is a heavy letter, and then okay, so then ghain is a heavy letter, and then at the end qaf letter is a heavy. So we say wa, gha, fa, qa. Wa, gha, fa, qa, right? So heavy wa, gha, fa, qa. Okay, so the next letter is a light kaf letter, ka, right? Kaf letter, ka. The next is lam letter, la. The next is meme letter, ma, right? These are easy letters in this row, inshallah, because you are already familiar with these letters. So kaf letter, ka, lam letter, la, meme letter, ma, and noon letter, na, and wow letter, wa. You're already familiar with these letters. So let's say this. Ka, la, ma, na, wa. Ka, la, ma, na, wa. Right? For wow letter, we are always supposed to shape our lips round to say wa, wa. Okay, so let's say one more time from start till this point. Batasajaha, kha da za ra za sa sha sa da ta ظا ع غا fa qa ka la ma na wa. And this letter here is a ha letter. Ha. This ha comes from the portion of our throat that is near to our chest, and we say ha, ha. And the next letter here is a hamza letter, a. And the next again is a hamza here, right? This is not aleph. I told you that whenever you see an aleph symbol and on top of that you see a hamza, so that is a hamza. So both of the sounds will be of hamza, and we say a and a. And the next two are again ya. I told you that these are, both ways this is the same sound of letter ya. So ha, ya, ya, ha, ya, ya. Okay, I hope that you will inshallah try to practice these. Okay, so we have practiced till this point. Inshallah, you will try to, say this out loud for yourself to practice. And yes, moving on to the next exercise that we have to practice the Fatha symbol more are these one, inshallah. Okay, so you see in front of you that we have like words here, and all of the letters in these words have this fatha symbol on top of them. So this will help you practice these symbols and their sounds and all of this, inshallah. So let's do these one by one now. So in this word here, we see three letters, right? There are three fatha symbols on top of that as well. First letter here is ba letter, the next letter is sin letter, and the third one is ra letter. So we will say basara, basara. We will not, make basara, not, will not elongate or stretch the sounds. We will just say like basara, basara. Okay, so the next one is taraka, taraka. The ta letter is a light letter at the start with two dots on top of it. Ta. The next letter is a heavy letter. Ra. Ra. Okay, so I told you that there are seven letters which are always heavy, and then there are three letters that are sometimes heavy and sometimes light. So the raw letter is from those three letters which are Ra, Alif, and Lam letter. These three letters, sometimes they are heavy, sometimes they are light. We will inshallah see the conditions when they are light or heavy, but for now, you just remember that whenever the Ra has a Fatha symbol, this slanting above line symbol, slanting line symbol above the letter, so in that case, Ra will be heavy. Heavy means that we will raise the back part of our tongue and our mouth will feel full. So this is like the Ra, raw, and ka at the end is light. Taraka, taraka, basara. Here, raw was heavy because it had a fatha on top of it. Basara, taraka, mathala, mathala. This is look like meme letter, and then tha letter, tip of the tongue touches the tip of our upper teeth, and we make this soft sound and say tha, mathala. This was basara, taraka, mathala, jama'a, jama'a. So in this word, there is first jim letter, j, jama'a. Then meme letter with a fatha, so we say ma. And at the end, there is ain letter of throat, and we say a. Jama'a. One more time, jama'a. A. A at the end should be prominent, should be correct from the throat. Jama'a. The next word here is hasada. Hasada. The first letter here is ha letter from the middle portion of our throat, and we say ha. Hasada. The middle letter is seen, and at the end there is the letter. Hasada. And the next here is khotama, khotama. Kha letter is a heavy letter, ta letter is a light letter next, and meme again is a light letter. So kha will be full mouth here. Kha, khatama. Let's do the first row. Basara, taraka, mathala, jama'a, hasada, khatama. Right? You are supposed to practice like this. First, you will do the individual words, this one, this one, this one, and then you will just say them together in a row as well. So, you will just say ba fatha. You can just practice like this as well, right? You can say like ba fatha ba, sin fatha sa, ra fatha ra, basa ra. That is another way to practice as well. So ta fatha ta, ra fatha ra, ka fatha ka, taraka. You can practice like this as well. So let's do the next word here, which is dal letter. Dal fatha da, خا فتحة خا لام فتحة لا دخل دخل. So in the middle, the kha letter is a heavy, and other two are, just light letters. The kha. The next one here is the letter. Then a raw letter will be heavy here because of fatha, and at the end there is a hamza. So this is the ra, the ro a. This is a the letter here, which is like a soft letter. The ro a. The next one is raw letter. This will be heavy here again because of fatha on top of it. Then fa letter and ain letter from the middle portion of throat. And we say rafa'a, rafa'a, right? The khala, the ra'a, rafa'a, a at the end, rafa'a. The next here is the letter here, with this buzzing sound, the, ma, the, ma. When I told you these things that, this has this buzzing sound, and sometimes I, mentioned that C letter has this whistle sound. And tha letter, is a soft letter. Dal is a light letter, and a soft letter. So these are the qualities of the letters. And for making your recitation beautiful, you not only have to remember the articulation points, but also the qualities of the letters as well. So when I'm saying the z letter here, so I'm making this buzzing sound with it as well. Z, z, ma, the ma, right? Sometimes people skip these qualities, but if you will just add these qualities of the words, these sifat of the words with it, they will make the recitation beautiful. The next word here is sa, a, la, sin letter, hamza letter, and then lam letter, sa'ala, Sa'ala, sa. I said that, sin letter has this whistle sound and air is removed from our mouth. So we will make this whistle sound and say sa, sa, sa'ala. The next one here is shin letter and jim letter and ra letter. Shajara, shajara. So ra again at the end will be heavy, and we will, I'm not saying shajara, ra. The ra is not empty mouth, but I'm saying raw, raw. At the end, this will should be written like raw, raw. Shajara. دخل ذرأ رفع زعم سأل شجرة شجرة. Okay. So the next word here is صدق, صدق. In this word, the first صاد letter and the last قاف letter, they are both heavy letters, and in the middle there is a light letter dal. So صدق, صدق, right? صدق. The next is ضاد letter, ضاد, which is a heavy letter. A raw letter here will be heavy because of fatha, and then there is ba letter. ضرب, ضرب. How do we articulate this ضاد? Is that the sides of the back part of the tongue, or you can just take one side of the back part of the tongue and you touch that or those with the upper molar wisdom teeth, and you make heavy sound and say ض ضرب ضرب ضرب. Okay, so the next word here is طبع طبع. In this word, the first letter ta is a heavy one. I'm not saying ta ta. Otherwise this will become ta letter, right? Like the way we said in taraka. This is a ta, a heavy ta letter. So we will say طبع طبع. One thing I would like to just mention or highlight here is that as you are all beginners, so try to, focus on the sounds of letter from the very, very start. When I tell you that this is a light letter, ta letter, and this is a pa letter, so from the very, very start, from this very, very beginning of yours, you are supposed to differentiate these sounds, okay? Even if you are struggling, just try to make a bit different from the start even. Because what happens is that when you're reciting Quran and you just change these, letters, you just change the pa heavy sound with the light ta sound. So pa with the ta sound can change the meaning of the word, so meaning will be changed just because of changing the sounds of the letters as well. So we have to avoid it, right? So now that you are learning these sounds, you should try to, just change the sounds of these, the qualities of these as well, that this is a heavy letter, this is a light letter. So just say pa, a heavy sound. طبع طبع. Okay, so at the end there is a ain letter and not a hamza letter. So we will not say a at the end. We will say a from the throat. The next word here is ظلم ظلم. So the first letter here was the letter, the, which is a heavy letter again. Tip of the tongue touches the tip of our upper teeth, and we say this letter softly and say the. ظلم ظلم. Okay, so the next here is عمل عمل. At the start here, there is ain letter of throat. ع ع عمل عمل. Okay, ain mim lam عمل. The next here is ghain letter, ghain, which comes from the upper portion of our throat with this gargle sound, and we say gha. Gha, which again is a heavy letter. I'm not saying gha, gha. Rather, I'm saying gha, gha. I'm making a heavy gha sound. And the next sound here is fa letter. And then ra letter here will be heavy because of fatha. So, ghafara, ghafara. Let's say this row. صدق, right? صدق ضرب طبع ظلم عمل غفر. Okay, so غفر at the end. The next here is فرض فرض. Fa light letter, ra and ض the letter will be heavy, and we say فرض فرض. Okay, so the next here is qaf letter heavy, qa, ta, la. Ta letter is light and lam again is light. So qatala, qatala, qa. Okay, qa. Back part of the tongue touches the soft palate with strength. Qa, qatala. The next one is kasaba, kasaba. Kaf letter light, seam letter light, and ba again is light. So an easy word, inshallah. Kasaba, kasaba, sa. Sin has this whistle sound in it. The next one is lam letter, ain letter, and noon letter. La'ana, la'ana. Lam, ain, and noon. La'ana. Mim, ra, and jim letter. Mim fatha mim, ra fatha ra, jim fatha jim, maraja, maraja. The next one is noon fatha noon, ba fatha ba, dhal fatha dha, nabadha. Okay, let's say this together. فرض قتل كسب لعن مرج نبذ. Right? نبذ. Okay, so the letter here was a soft one. The tip of the tongue touches the tip of our upper teeth and we say the. The next word here is wajada. Wajada. Wow letter, Jim and the letter. Wajada for wow, shaping your lips round and saying wa. Ja. Jim letter with strength. Ja. Wajada. Da. Okay. Dal letter, we say this when tip of the tongue touches the back of our upper teeth and we say the. The. Not the D sound, not the D sound, but the sound. The. Wajada. The. The next word here is halaka. Halaka. Ha letter from the lower portion of our throat that is near to the chest, and then lam letter here it will be light, and kaf letter at the end, and we just say halaka. Halaka. The next word here is ahada. Ahada. This is, a very common word. We find this, you know, in قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ in Surah Ikhlas as well. So when we say this ha, we should be articulating this from the right position of middle portion of the throat. So this ha is a different one. Ha. But this ha is a different one. This comes from the lower portion of throat. This ha comes from the middle portion of our throat. So whenever this ha comes, when we say Alhamdulillah, again in that, this is the ha in hamdu, Alhamdu, right? So we should be articulating this right. Ahada, ahada, ha, ha. First pushing the air out of your throat and then making the sound at the end. Ha, ha, ahada. Okay, so the next one is akhadha. Akhadha. Kha letter with a scratch from the upper portion of the throat, and then the dhal letter, which is a soft one. Akhadha. Akhadha. I'm not saying akhaza. Akha. The mouth should not be empty mouth. Okay, this will be a full mouth letter. Kha. Akhadha. Akhadha. The next one is yadaka. Ya letter, da letter, and kaf letter. Yadaka. The kaf is light, dal is light, and ya is light here as well. So all of the light letters, just simply say yadaka. The last one here is ain letter, ba letter, and sin letter. Abasa. Abasa. Ain from the middle portion of the throat. Let's say this row and وجد هلك أحد أخذ يدك عبس. Okay, عبس. Okay, we just all did all of this exercise. You are supposed to practice this on your own as well. Okay, let's just say this one more time from start till the end, and then inshallah we can end this session inshallah. Okay, so but you should be, focusing on the light and heavy letters as well side by side, okay? So you will feel that some letters are light and sometimes like they are like empty mouth and some are full mouth. So let's say this. بصر ترك مثل جمع حسد ختم دخل ذرأ رفع زعم سأل شجر صدق ضرب طبع ظلم عمل غفر فرض قتل كسب لعن مرج نبذ وجد هلك أحد أخذ يدك عبس. Okay, you might have noticed that on the ending words, on the last words of these rows, I said khatam, shajar, ghafar, nabad, abas. I just skipped the last, fatha on all of these, and I made these, like the sound was vowelless at the end. We know that these fatha symbols make a short vowel sound on top of these letters, right? So I just skipped the short vowel sound at the end. What we will inshallah learn at the end as well, during the process of this qaida, that why I did these things, right? But for now, you just remember that we just say this, exercise like this. We just practice it like this. Okay, that is a way how we stop at the end of the words, and we just skip the fatha sound, okay, and we change that sound to another symbol which we call sakin. So rather than saying khatama, I said khatam at the end. And rather than saying shajar, I said shajar. Okay, so we just practice it this way. You are supposed to practice this like this, in this way as well, inshallah. And inshallah, we will move on to the next haraka as well. So that is it for today. Yes, if you have any query, you can ask me that.